Welcome back, and I'm still with Chris Kanter to talk about the World Economic Forum in East Asia. Now, in your observation, what are the unique characters of Indonesian economy at the moment that people deem or seem to identify with Indonesia?
Yeah, I mean, Indonesia, as I mentioned, if you look into the potential and where we are now, I mean, I have to look for some note, but we are the largest in the ASEAN economy. But if you look into the ranking, as I mentioned before, we are number 26, if I'm not mistaken, which only cover export 1% of the world export. Right. So if you look into what we have now and what we are now, there is still a big room for development. Number two is, if you look into the new administration program, it is very ambitious, but it is, I think,
a positive kind of
ambition. What I mean is, that's why I want to continue by saying that it is ambitious, but I think it is doable on delivering, because this is what is important, and this is actually not only the Indonesian, but this is what the economy of the world want to see, because like infrastructure, this has been a talk for so long, but addressing the problem on land acquisition, the new government will have 10 ports, 2,000 kilometers of road, 35,000 megawatt of electricity. They will build 24, if I'm not mistaken, ports, and not 24 or 25 dam. What is it? Bendungan? Reservoir. So many things will be done. This definitely, if it is delivered, if it really executed with the potential that Indonesia has, I'm pretty sure we will be really jump in a very fast speed.
Yeah. Now, interesting, you mentioned of all Jokowi, it's been clear that President's vision and mission is first and foremost is to develop infrastructure in Indonesia, improve infrastructure, and this is the same message that he's been saying from all his business trips. But this is special because every 600 over delegates will be in Indonesia. This is and 760. That's a total number right now. And Jokowi has the opportunity to say that out loud on his home ground. Now, besides increasing the number of investment and also cooperations with these 600 over companies, what are other key messages that perhaps we want the world to also address, not just concerning Indonesia, but the region and Asia and Africa?
Yeah, that's what I'm try to explain is that the advantage of having this event here is that, and this is the difference compared to President Jokowi speak on APEC, and any international conference which he attend, because here it is held in Indonesia, so it is not only the president but also the minister.
Right.
Many ministers will speak there. Also, this event will be attended also by a decision maker from private sector as well as government in Indonesia. So these participants, they will meet all these key figure, they will meet all this decision maker, they will meet all this businessmen which is here, which know much more than what can be delivered on a president speech, 30 minutes,
So decisions can be made there and then.
Yes, they can come, they can ask more detail, they can go deep on all the interests that they have. Second is, of course, this is the year where we will have the ASEAN Economic Community, which will start end of this year. And Indonesia, as I mentioned, 40% is what do you call it, the largest economy in ASEAN. If you look into intra-Asian, we are around 22 to 25%. In the last 12 years, it's just like that. So this, of course, if you're an investor, if you're a trading partner, when you look into a market this big, where really only 25% is within intra-ASEAN, so this will be a very big opportunity. And this is all happening in this year with having a new administration.
Yeah.
Of course, the administration has to prove that they are really delivering what
Yeah.
they promised, that they are really going into the right direction. And that, I think, is a golden opportunity that Indonesia has to make use.
So it seems that there's not only there was no honeymoon period for President Jokowi, but he's on point on every single decision that he's
Yeah.
making. Once after WEF is over, then he has to focus on Asian Economic Community.
Yeah.
Now, how do you perceive Indonesia's, or if we can be more specific on the current administration's readiness and preparedness in welcoming the AEC end of this year?
Yeah, AEC is always, I mean, because in my position, I also sit in international organization as well. So I speak in several places in many countries. Yeah. Not really known to many people, but if you, let's say like me, when I speak in Thailand, when I speak in China, when I speak in Malaysia, they are all afraid of Indonesia will be very dominant on the ASEAN economy,
That's
which is
interesting.
very logic, because we are, with all of what we have, our resources. What we have, the the number of customer, quote unquote, the people what
It
what we
provides
have,
a huge market. as
huge
well.
market. Everybody will think like that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if I have to speak in Indonesia, everybody is talking about how are we ready? Should we cancel it, or
The big question
we
there.
should, we are not ready. We should really postpone this. We should do this. We should do that. Actually, when you look overall on the ASEAN Economic Community itself, clearly one thing is missing, is the socialization of what is actually ASEAN
Yeah.
Economic Community. So when you have a limited knowledge about what it is, certainly you have a limited opportunity that you can make use of the ASEAN Economic Community.
Or participate.
And this is the thing that we have to catch up very soon and very fast, because otherwise, how can we know the potential or the advantage that Indonesia can if we don't really know what it is?
Yeah.
Many people are still always in their mind, ASEAN Economic Community, it's like, everything is open. It's like naked, like being naked. No, there is still measurement. There is still some, how do you call it, a ruling that has to be followed in each country.
Right.
Not to mention, if we look into the situation now, without ASEAN Economic Community, for example, tariff measures, 90% is already open.
Right.
Among ASEAN, already
At least
zero.
within Southeast
yes, already zero.
Yeah.
So actually, it is not really, like today is, sunshine and then darkness will come.
Yeah, it's
no,
not-
it
it's
is
not a
already
totally
there.
new-
We are already only the last part, actually.
Yeah.
True, there is some which has to be looked carefully, that we have to be very well prepared.
Yeah.
That is true. But it is not really like, we are facing some disaster is coming. No, it's not.
It's all a matter of how a government communicates what ASEAN and
Yeah.
how it would be,
Yes,
it would be
yes.
done.
I have even experienced making socialization among KADIN, Chamber of Commerce member. That they are all businessmen,
Yeah.
and even key businessmen, because they are the board, they are, the team of the Chamber of Commerce. It is actually, I have to admit, still very limited compared to what about ASEAN Economic Community that should be known, especially by businessmen.
All right. Chris, we'll go back to World Economic Forum on East Asia right after this short break. Okay, one last forum. We'd like to talk about the